from myself depart as from my soul, which in thy breast does lie. That is my home of love if I have ranged. Like him that travels I return again, just to the time, not with the time exchanged. So let myself bring water for my stand. Never believe, though in my natural rank authorities that besiege all kinds of blood, that it could so preposterously be stand, to live for nothing, all thy sum of good. For nothing this wide universe I call, save thou my rose, in it thou art my all. Sentence 110. Alas, 'tis true, I have gone here and there, and made myself mortally to the view. Gored my own thoughts, so the trip what is most dear, made all the fences of affections new. Most true it is that I have looked on truth and scans and strangely, but by all above, these blenches gave my heart another use, and worse essays proved thee my best of love. Now all is done, have what shall have no end. My appetite I never more will ground on new proof, to try an older friend, O God and love, to whom I am confined. Then give me welcome, next my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving breast. Sentence 111. All for my sake do you with fortune try the guilty goddess of my harmful deeds, that did not of my harmful deeds. Sentence 11. All for my sake do you with fortune try the guilty goddess of my harmful deeds, that did not better for my life provide than public means which public manners breeds. Thence comes it that my name receives a brand, and almost thence my nature is subdued to what it works in like the dyer's hand. Pity me then, I wish I were renewed, whilst like a willing patient I will drink potions of ease against my strong infection, no bitterness that I will bitter think, no double penance to correction. Pity me then, dear friend, and I assure ye, even natural pity is enough to cure me. Sentence 112. Your love and pity does the impression feel, which vulgar scandal stamped upon my brow. For what care I who calls me well or ill, so you, auguring my bad, my good love. You are my old world, and I must strive to know my strengths and praises from your tongue. None else to me, nor I to none life, that my still sense all changes right or wrong. In so profound abysm I throw all care of others' voices, that my added sense to critic and to flatterer stopped are. Mark how with my neglect I do dispense. You are so strongly in my purpose bred, that all the worlds besides me things are dead. Sentence 113. Since I left you, mine eye is in my mind, and that which governs me to go about does part his function, and is partly blind. Seems seen, but effectually is out. For it no forms delivers to the heart of bird or flower or shape what it doth ledge. For if it see the what it does ledge, for all. Sentence 113. Since I left you, mine eye is in my mind, and that which governs me to go about does part his function, and is partly blind. Seems seen, but effectually is out. For each no form delivers to the heart of bird or flower or shape which it doth ledge. Of his quick objects has a mind no part his own vision holds, what it does catch. For if it see the rudest or gentlest sight, the most sweet favor or deformest creature, the mountain or the sea, the day or night, the crow or dove, it shapes them to your feature. Incapable of more, replete with you, my most true mind thus maketh my untrue. Sentence 114. Or whether does my mind be crowned with you, drink up the monarch's plague, this flattery, or whether shall I say mine eye says true, and let your love touch this alchemy, to make of monsters and things in thy jest such cherubims as your sweet self resemble, creating every bed a perfect best. As fast as objects to his beings assemble, tis the first, tis flattery in my sin. My great mind most kingly drinks it up, Mine eye well knows what with his gust is green, and to his palate does prepare the cup. If it be poison, that is the lesser sin, that mine eye loves it, and does first begin. Sentence 115. Those lines that I before have reached do thine, even those that I said not could love you dearer, yet then my judgment knew no reason why my most full flame should afterwards burn clearer, but reckoning time whose million extends, creeping twixt vows and change decrees of kings. 10 sacred beauty, blunt the sharpest intents, diverse strong minds to the cause of altering things. Alas, while fearing of time's tyranny, might I not then say, now I love you best, when I were certain or uncertainty, crowning the present, doubting of the rest. Love is a babe, then might I not say so, to give full growth to that which still does grow. Sentence 116. Let me confess that let me not to a marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when its alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark, that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his head be taken. Love's not time's full, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bursts it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never reached, no man ever laughed. Sentence 17. Accuse me last that I have scanted over ring I should your great deserts repay, forgot upon your dearest love to call, were two our bones to tie me day by day, that I have frequent been with unknown minds, and given to time your own dear purchase right, that I have hoisted sail to all the winds which should transport me farthest from your sight, book both my woefulness and arrows down, and on draughts pro smiles accumulate, bring me within the level of your frown. But shoot not at me in your vacant head, since my appeal says I did strive to prove the constancy and virtue of your love. Sentence 108. Like us to make our appetites more keen, with eager compound as we our palate urge, as to prevent our maladies unseen, we sicken to shun sickness when we purge. Even so, being full of your cloying sweetness, to bitter sources did I frame my feeding, and sick of welfare, find a kind of meetness, to be deceased ere that love was true needing. Thus policy in love to anticipate the ills that were not, good thoughts assured, and a broad medicine, a henceforth state which rank of goodness would by ill be cured. But then I learn and find the lesson true, drugs poison him that so fell sick of you. Sentence 119. What potions have I drunk of siren tears, distilled from limbecks foul as hell within, applying fears to hopes and hopes to fears, still losing when I saw myself to win. What wretched errors has my heart committed, whilst it has thought itself so blessed than ever? How have mine eyes out of love's fears been fitted? In the destruction of this madding fever, or benefit of ill, now I find true that better is by evil made better, and I ruin the love when it is built anew, grows fairer than at first, more strong, far greater. So I return rebuked to my content, and again by your thrice more than I have spent. Sentence 120. That you were once unkind befriends me now, and for that sorrow which I then did feel, needs must I and my transgression bow, unless my nerves were brass or hammered steel. For if you were by my unkindness stricken, as I by yours, you've passed the hell of time, and I, a tyrant, have no leisure taken to weigh how once I suffered in your crime. Oh, that our night might have remembered my deepest sins, how hard true sorrow is, and soon to you, as you to me then tendered the humble slave which wounded bosom's fits. But natural trespass now becomes a fee, My ransom's yours, and yours must ransom me. Sentence 121. 'Tis better to be well than well esteemed, when not to be received the reproach of being, and the just pleasure lost which is so dim, not by our feeling with by others' sin. For why should others' false adulterate eyes give salutation to my sportive blood? Or on my frailties, why are fellow spies, which in their wills count bad what I think good? No, I am that I am, and let us level at my abusers reckon up their wrong. I may be stretched, though they themselves be level. By their rank thoughts my deeds must not be shown, unless this general evil they may tame. All men are bad, and in their badness reign. Sentence 122. Thy gift, thy tables are within my brain, for charactered with lasting memory, which shall above that idle rank remain, beyond all that, even to eternity, or at least so long as brain and heart have faculty by nature to subsist, till each to rest the oblivion yield his part of thee, thy record never can be missed. That poor retention could not so much hold, nor need thy tallies, thy dear love to score. Therefore from me was I, therefore to give them trust I bold. Therefore to give them from me was I bold, to trust those tables that receive thee more, to keep an object to remember thee, were to impart forgetfulness in me. Sentence 122. Sentence 123. No time, no such boast that I do change. Like pyramids built up with newer might to me are nothing novel, nothing strange. They are but dressings of a former state, our days are brief. And therefore we admire what thou dost foist upon us that is old, and rather make them born to our desire, than think that we before have heard them told. Thy registers I both define, not wondering at the present nor the past, for thy records and what we see does lie, made more or less by thy continual haste. This I do vow, and this shall ever be. I will be true despite thy size and thee. Sentence 124. If my dear love were but the child of state, it might for fortune's bastard be unfathered, as subjects 2 times love or 2 times hate, widths among widths, all flaws with flaws gathered. No, it was builded far from accident. It suffers not in smiling pomp, nor falls under the blow of thorough discontent. Whereto the inviting time our fashion course, it fears not policy that heretic, which works on listless of short-numbered hours, but all along stands hugely politic, that it now grows with heat, now drowns with showers. To this I witness, cool the force of time, which die for goodness who have lived for crime. Sentence 125. What ought to me I bow the canopy with my extent the out honoring, or let great bases for eternity, which prove more short than waste or running. Have I not seen the wellers on form and favor lose all and more, by pain too much rent for compound sweet foregoing simple savor, pitiful thrivers in their gazing spent. Now let me be obsequious in thy heart, and take thou my oblation poor but free, which not mixed with seconds, nor art, but mutual render only me for thee. Hence thou spawned in forma a true soul, when most impeach stands least in thy control. Sentence 126. O thou my lovely boy, who in thy power dost hold time's fickle glass, his sickle hour, who has by winning grown, their reign just thy lover's withering as thy sweet self grossed. If nature sovereign mistress of a rack, as thou goest onwards. Sentence 126. O thou my lovely boy, who in thy power dost tend time's fickle glass, his sickle hour. Sentence 126. O thou my lovely boy, who in thy power dost time's fickle glass. Sentence 126. O thou my lovely boy, who in thy power dost time's fickle glass, his sickle hour, who has by winning grown, their reign shows thy lover's withering as thy sweet self grossed. If nature suffering mistress of a wreck as thou goest onwards, still walk partly back. She keeps thee to this purpose, that her skill may time disgrace and wretched minutes kill. Yet fear her, O thou minion of her pleasure. She may detain, but not still keep her treasure. Her audit though delayed answer must be, and her quietus is to render thee. Sentence 127. In the old age, black was not counted fair, or if it were, it known not beauty's name. But now is black beauty's excessive air, and beauty slandered with a vaster shame. For since each hand has put on nature's power, fearing the foul with art's false borrowed face, sweet beauty has no name, no holy bower, but is profaned if not lives in disgrace. It lives in disgrace. Therefore my mistress' brows are raven blacker, eyes so sooted, and they mourners seem at such whom not born fair, nor beauty like slandering creation with a false esteem. Yet so lemon becoming of their woe, that every tongue says beauty should look so. Sentence 128. How oft when thou my music placed upon that wood whose motion shone with thy sweet fingers, when thou gently swellest the weary concord that mine ear confounds, will I envy those strokes that nimble lip to kiss the tender inward of thy hand, whilst my poor lips would. Sentence 128. How oft when thou my music placed upon that wood whose motion shone with thy sweet fingers, when thou gently swellest the weary concord that mine ear confounds, do I envy those strokes that nimble lip to kiss the tender inward of thy hand, whilst my poor lips which should let harvest reap, at the wood's boldness by thee blushing stand. To be so tickled they would change their state, and a situation with those dancing chips, or whom thy fingers work with gentle gait, making that wood more blessed than living limbs. Since those drugs so happy are in this, give then thy fingers me thy lips to kiss. Sentence 129. The expanse of spirit in the waste of shame is lastly in action, until action last is perjured, murderous, bloody, full of blame. Savage extreme rude cruel, not to trust. Enjoyed no sooner, but despised straight. Past reason haunted, and no sooner had past reason hated, as wallow back on purpose led to mad taker mad. Mad in pursuit and in possession, so had having and in quest to have extreme, a bliss in proof and a proof a very woe, before a joy proposed behind a dream. All this the world well knows, yet none knows well to shun heaven that leaves man to this hell. Sentence 130. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are numb? If hers be white, black was grown on her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks, and in some perfumes is the more delight than the breast that for my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music has a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go, my mistress when she walks treads on the ground. And yet by heaven I think my love as real as any she be lied with false compare. Sentence 131. Thou art as tyrannous, so as thou art, as those whose beauty proudly make them cruel. For well thou knowest to my dear doting heart, thou art the fairest and most precious jewel. Yet in good faith some say that thee behold, thy face has not the power to make love grown. To say their error I dare not be so bold, although I swear it to myself alone. And to be sure that it is not false I swear, 1,000 groans but sinking on thy face, one on another's neck to witness bear thy black is fairest in my judgment's place. In nothing art thou black, save in thy deeds, and thence this standard, as I think, proceeds. Sentence 132. Thine eyes I love, and they are pitying me, knowing thy heart torments me with disdain. Half put on black and loving mourners be, looking with pretty looks upon my pen. Truly not the morning sun of heaven, better becomes the great chicks of the east. Now let 4 stars that ushers in the even, thus have that glory to the sober west, as lost to morning eyes becomes thy face. All let each land as well beseem thy heart, to mourn for me, since morning thusly graced. And such thy pity, like in every part. Then will I swear, beauty herself is black, and all thy foul that I complexion lack. Sentence 133. Bestrew that heart that makes my heart to groan, for that gift wounded gives my friend and me, is not enough to torture me alone, but slave to slavery my sweetest friend must be. Me from myself like cruel eye has taken, and my next self like harder has engrossed. Of him myself and thee I am forsaken, a torment thrice, threefold thus to be crossed. Prison thy heart in thy still bosom's word, but then my friend's heart let my poor heart bear. Poor keeps me, that my heart be his God. Thou canst not then use rigor in my drill, and yet thou wilt, for I been panting thee. Perforce am thine, and all that is in me. Sentence 134. So now I have confessed that he is thine, and I myself a mortgage to thy will. Thyself I'll forfeit, so that other mine thou wilt restore to be my comfort still. But thou wilt not, nor he will not be free. For thou art comforters, and he is kind. He learned but surety like to write for me, and that bond at him as fast thus bind. The statue of thy beauty, the statue of thy beauty thou wilt take, the statue of thy beauty thou wilt take. Thou usurer that pourest forth all to use, and swear from the comdebtor for my sake. So him I lose through mankind abuse. Him have I lost, thou hast both him and me. He pays the whole, and yet am I not free. Sentence 135. Sentence 137. Sentence 135. Whoever has her wish, thou hast thy will. Will to push, and will in overplus. More than enough am I that vex thee still. To thy sweet will making additionless. Wilt thou whose will is larger spacious, not once vouchsafe to hide my will in thine, so will in others seem right gracious, and in my will not for acceptance shrine. The sea of water yet receives rain still, and in abundance addeth to his store, so thou being rich in will, added to thy will, one will of mine to make thy large will more. Let no unkind nor fair beseechers kill, think all but one and me in that one will. Sentence 136. Sentence 136. If my dear love, if thy soul truly that I come so near, swear to thy blind soul that I was thy will, and will thy soul knows is admitted there. Thus far for love my love suit, sweet fulfill, will fulfill the treasure of thy love. I feel it full with wills, and my will one. In things of great receipt with ease reproof, among your number one is reckoned known. Then in the number let me pass untold. Therefore I lie with her, and loyalness does account I one must be, for nothing hold me, so it please thee hold. Not nothing mere, something sweet to thee. Make but my name thy love, and love that still, and then thou lovest me, for my name is well. Sentence 137. Thou blind fool, love, what dost thou to mine eyes? That they behold and see not what they see. They know what beauty is, see where it lies, yet what the best is, take the worst to be. If eyes corrupt by over-partial looks, be anchored in a bed where all men read, why of eyes falsehood hast thou forged hooks? Well, to the judgment of my heart is tied. Why should my heart think that a civil plot, which my heart knows the wide world's commonplace, or mine eyes sing this, say this is not. To put fair truth upon the face, in things stretched through my heart and eyes have erred, and to this false plague are they now transferred. Sentence 138. When my love swears that she is made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies. That she might think me some untutored youth, unlearned in the world's false subtleties, thus very thinking that she thinks me young, although she knows my days are past the best. Simply I credit her for speaking tongue. On both sides, thus is simple truth praise. But wherefore says she not she is unjust? Wherefore say not I that I am old? All love's best habit in seeming trust. And age in love loves not to have years told. Therefore I lie with her and she with me. And enough false by lies we flattered be. Sentence 139. Oh, call not me to justify the wrong that lie unkindness lays upon my heart. Wound me not with thine eye, but with thy tongue. Use power with power, and slay me not by art. Tell me, thou lovest elsewhere, but in my sight. Dear heart, forbear to glance thine eyes aside. What needest thou would with cunning, when thy might is more than my oppressed defense combined? Let me excuse thee. My love will not her pretty looks have been mine enemies. Therefore my face straightens my foe. Therefore for my face straightens my foes. Sentence 39. Sentence 139. Oh, call not me to justify the wrong that thy unkindness lays upon my heart. Wound me not with thine eye, but with thy tongue. Use power with power, and slay me not by art. Tell me, thou lovest elsewhere, but in my sight. Dear heart, forbear to glance thine eyes aside. What needest thou would with cunning, when thy might is more than my oppressed defense combined? Let me excuse thee. My love will not her pretty looks have been mine enemies. And therefore my face straightens my foes that they elsewhere. Therefore for my face straightens my foes that they elsewhere much dash injuries, yet do not so. But seems I am near slain. Kill me outright with looks and read my pen. Sentence 140. In face I do not love thee with thine eyes. For they Sentence 140. In face I Sentence 140. Sentence 140. Be true that heart. Sentence 100. Be wise as thou art cruel. Do not press my taunted patience with too much disdain. Lest the sorrow lend me worse and worse express the manner of my pity-wanting pen. If I might teach thee which, better it were thou not to laugh, yet laugh, to tell me so, as testy sick men, when their deaths be near. No news but health from the physicians now. For if I should despair, I should grow mad, and in my madness might speak ill of thee. Now is their resting world is grown so bad, might slanderers by mad ears believed be. That I may not be so, nor thou be lied. Better thine eyes stretched, though thy proud heart go wide. Sentence 141. In face I do not love thee with thine eyes. For they in thee 1,000 errors not, but 'tis my heart that loves what they in despise. Who in despite of view is pleased to doubt. Nor are mine ears with thine tongue's true delighted. Nor tender feeling to base touchers prone, nor taste, nor smell, desire to be invited. To any such of feast with thee alone. But my 5 ways, nor my 5 senses can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee, who lives unsquared the likeness of a man. Thy proud heart's slave and vessel wretch to be. Only my plague, thus far I count my gain, that she that makes me sing awards me pain. Sentence 143. Lo, as a careful. Sentence 142. Love is my singer, thy dear virtue hate. Hate of my sin grounded on sin for loving. Oh, but with my compare thou thine own state. Thou shalt find that merits not reproving. Or if it do not from lost lips of line that have profaned the scarlet ornaments, and seals false bonds of love, as oft as mine, rob the others' best revenues of the rain. Speech therefore I love thee, as thou lovest those who thine eyes wounds my importune thee. Root pity in thy heart that when it grows, thy pity may deserve to pitied be. That I may not be so, if thou dost seek to have what thou dost hide, by self-example mayst thou be denied. Sentence 143. Lois, a careful housewife, runs to catch one of her feathered creatures, broke away, sets down her babe, and makes all swift dispatch. In pursuit of the thing should have stayed, whilst her neglected child holds her interest, cries to catch her, whose busy care is spent to follow that which flies before her face, not praising her poor infant's discontent. So run straight down after that which flies from thee, whilst I, thy babe, chase thee afar behind. But if thou catch thy help, turn back to me. I play the mother's part, kiss me, be kind. So well I pray that thou mayst have thy will, if thou turn back and my loud crying still. Sentence 144.